Jimmy K here, Metal Boys. Look at this. The Metal Boy shirts are now on sale. Just go to the video description to find out on how you can purchase one. Metal! In these crazy times, you need a Metal Boys hat. You can pick it up at metalboys.com. Welcome for the first time, Neil Sanderson on the Metal Voice from 3 Days Grace. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jimmy.
You're actually on tour as we speak, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we played our first show the other night in Boise, Idaho, and we're in Denver tonight. It's us and Disturbed, and these are the first shows as a 5-piece, so it's really exciting. And tonight's just going to be, we're going to try to blow the doors off the place again. Interesting
enough. Okay, you got Matt and you got Adam. You know, these are the two singers, right? The two singers, the new guy or the newish guy, and of course the older guy or the older member. It's interesting because I'll give you an example, like Iron Maiden. You know, instead of gutting their third guitarist, which they had at the time, they just brought back Adrian Smith. So they go, we're going to keep 3 guys instead of having just 2. And even the band Halloween, if you know them from the metal side of things, sure. instead of letting one guy go, they said, you know what, everybody come on board. It seems to be more the trend to go that way and actually more credible for the band. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we're first and foremost, we're a family. We all grew up together in a small town, and so Matt, who came in 2013, to replace Adam, he's been in the band for 12 years now, but he's Brad, our bass player's younger brother, so he was around as a kid when 3 Days Grace was when we were first just like jamming in basements and trying to figure out our sound as we were teenagers, and he was he wasn't even a teenager, and so for him to come in was just a very natural fit, and then as time progressed on, we just started having open conversations with which is the notion of like, what would this be if we joined forces and we become a 5-piece, and it creates a completely new dimension and facet for the sound of 3 Days Grace and our ability to artistically branch off into just different things that we can do with having 2 voices that are uniquely different but come together in such a powerful way. So it feels like we've kind of come full circle and we've closed this loop. And it's just fate, I guess, that we're all seeing eye to eye now, and the band sounds bigger than ever, and it's just it's a great time to just see it all come into one full force moving forward.
I guess it's a taste of Mayday, the single that you released with the 2 singers, right? Is that kind of, what's the musical direction of the new music that you're going to come out with?
It's definitely dynamic. Mayday was a song that I guess we were pulling some inspiration from our record 1X with songs like Animal I've Become and things like that, where it's a really driving force song. The lyrics are really about a social commentary about how sometimes you feel in life that you're like hurling at just warp speed through time and space, and you don't quite know who's at the wheel.
Well, basically today you're just in today's environment. Yes, I get it.
Sure, absolutely. It feels like everything can be in fast forward and sensory overload, which isn't always healthy for the human brain, and basically just try to making the decision whether you're going to swim against the current or whether you're going to fall in line with other people, and making those choices on the daily basis. So that's what that song's about. The rest of the record, we have a lot of really heavy moments. We do love sort of down tempo heaviness. We listen to a lot of Pantera and stuff like that, and I think that is contrasted with some songs that I think are really going to, bring out the emotion because they're emotional to us, and they, I think that's the strongest connection with 3 Days Grace and our fans, is that we're writing from the heart and from the gut and deep down in the psyche and putting it out into song. And when people can relate to that and see their own lives in that music, then that's the most powerful thing you can have as an artist. So there's a lot of that where it's just we stay true to ourselves, and we're not afraid to write about the real deep down stuff. And that seems to always resonate with our fans because it's coming from a real place.
Is there a timeline, like in the next year you're going to release an album?
Yeah, it's looking like we're gonna be releasing it in June. We're just putting the final touches on it and doing
Oh,
some
okay. So it's that's how
yeah.
much you. I thought you were kind of like more in the recording stage. So you're like past the recording stage.
Pretty well, yeah. We're past the recording stage. We're doing some mixing right now, and just doing some finessing, just kind of going over some of the times we'll go back to it and just see like what we can mute, what we can remove. Sometimes that's an exercise in making a record that's good because sometimes you just have too much stuff in there, and more isn't always better. So we kind of go through at this process and just make sure that every part in there is deliberate and is there for a reason and is making the song better. If not, it's gone.
It's cool. It's strange. I put up a post and of your U.S. dates with your festivals and all that, and I noticed you guys kind of fit in the pretty much in any sort of festival. Like it could be a metal festival, it could be a hard rock festival, it could be more of an alternative. I don't know, a festival, but you guys seem to fit in every category. And I guess it must help with your gigs because you got this massive appeal, right?
Yeah, and I think we're lucky for that. We're very grateful that yeah we can kind of hang with like heavier bands and also be on stuff that's not specifically metal as well. And I think that sometimes because we've been lucky enough to have so much radio success and we've had like the 18 number ones. It's like even at Metal Fest, people want to be able to like sing along to songs that they know and like and I think sometimes it creates actually a nice dynamic at a show when
Yeah, for sure.
when there's a band that we're not as like we don't really have I guess as much screaming as some other bands, but we still share a lot of the same fans, which is really cool, and that's an homage that just shows that how open-minded music listeners are today. They'll listen to things that are extremely heavy, listen to things not so much, and everything in between, and that's what's beautiful is that people don't they don't pigeonhole themselves in what they listen to necessarily.
What's it like for a Canadian band to break into the US or and to maintain that sort of level in the US?
Well, we got a great piece of advice when we were first starting, which was, try to sign to an American record label and try to sign to an American management
Yeah,
company because,
yeah.
if you break in the U.S., then that will naturally propagate north and abroad. So if you're popular in the U.S., you got a real good shot at being popular overseas and in Canada. But the reciprocal isn't really necessarily true in Canada. You can become quite established in Canada, but just can't. There's a lot of bands that just can't seem to break through to the U.S. And I think just having that advice that we waited, we started having all these Canadian record deals landing in our laps, and then we waited until a little bit of time passed, and then at that time we also wrote the song "I Hate Everything About You," and once we had that song. And the Canadian labels were interested. We suddenly found ourselves having record labels from New York coming up to Toronto to check us out live, and then we were like, okay, this is cool. This is gonna be good.
I'm in Montreal, Canada, by the way.
Very
Just a
cool.
heads
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
can't wait to get out there. Quebec, I should say, even though we did break in the U.S. and we've been lucky enough to have lots of success in Canada and overseas. Quebec, we always say Quebec is our number one live show market in the world, like hands down. As far as the energy of the live shows and the crowd participation and the whole like everything, Quebec's number one.
But better news for Canada, there will be a proper Canadian tour, right? Which
That's
will,
right. Yeah, we're
yeah.
just about to, we're just putting the final touches on the business side of things for that, and it's going to be a really exciting tour that's going to be coming up sooner than later.
Actually, I wanted to say something before about the hip. They had that issue, right? Where I'm not sure if their management was Canadian or not, but phenomenal in Canada. And actually, even in Europe, they did somewhat okay. But in the US, they could just never crack it wide open. Where you guys is
Yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah. I don't really know. I mean, every case is different. Why that may be. I mean, sometimes it's like the Canadian record label. They have their own thing going, but the U.S. record label they have their own thing going, and I don't know. I'm not really privy to what the circumstances are in terms of breaking in the U.S. Like I said, every scenario is different. You got to be at the right place at the right time and connect to the culture, I think. And I think our music has always touched on the sort of daily struggle of just everyday life and anxiety and depression and addiction and just all of those struggles. And I think that connects. I think that's a pretty universal feeling, especially with young people. And I think that's been a big part of that's what, because we go through that stuff. I mean, I have a history of anxiety, depression, and it's like, so why not put that into songs, right? It's like
Get it out. You feel better sometimes, right?
Yeah,
It's great closure. The most interesting country you ever played in?
I would say Japan. Tokyo
Okay.
is just such an interesting city. It's so clean. There's no litter. But like, unless you have a tour guide, it's hard to find anything going on, because then you realize, like, you're looking for the bowling alley and you realize it's on the 35th floor of this building. It's everything is up. There's lots of stuff going on. It's all up.
They can't go this way. They have to go that way.
That's right. Yeah, and really the food was incredible, and the people were extremely just kind and generous, and really had a calming effect on me. I'd like to go back there and have a little bit more like downtime to check it out.
Was there any country like where it was kind of like you're not quite sure why are we here, or
Not really.
sketchy,
Well, I mean, you can find that anywhere. You can find sketchiness anywhere.
Yeah, I
So,
guess so.
but sometimes, like sometimes in like South America, if you're in Brazil, you got to watch your wallet. A little bit. You got to maybe put your wallet in your front pocket and stuff like that. But I've never really felt like uncomfortable. I mean, we've been to Russia 5 times. We've been to Ukraine, Belarus. We've been to all those beautiful places. It's a real drag that what's going on over there, and we would love to get back there again someday. For a while, we were going like every other year, playing like massive arena shows in Russia, and like for me to have that perspective on it, and being in Ukraine, being in Russia, and being in Belarus, it's like everybody, most people are just like trying to live their lives, man. Just trying to, it's
Having a
like
good
that's
time,
and it's I never felt any, it's just a different culture, and people are just waking up and going about their day and trying to live their life.
Canadian tour. You're going to give out. I guess you guys are going to post out all the dates pretty soon. Is it
Yes,
across
we're just
Canada?
about. That's
East to
right.
west?
Yeah. I'm not sure if we go completely to the east, but I know we are all the way out to Vancouver, all and Quebec, and everywhere in between. Yeah.
Why I'm asking is because I made a post and I put your U.S. dates, like I said at the beginning of this interview, and all I kept seeing was, how come there's no Canadian dates? Why isn't there no Canadian dates? And there was comment after comment after comment why there was no Canadian dates, but alas, there
Coming.
is. It's
Yeah.
coming. So that's good news. Is there anything you want to tell everybody?
No, just what this band has been through a lot of twists and turns and chapters, and with lineup changes, and now here we are. I think we're the best version of ourselves, and we always take time to want to thank the fans and people like you, Jimmy, for like supporting us all along the way, being on this journey with us. It means a lot, and it's the reason why we get to do this.
Where are you, in Denver?
I'm in Denver. Yeah, we've got the oxygen tanks ready for strength. They're a mile up. The air's a lot thinner, and once you get going, it's nice to have that oxygen.
What's it like I should have asked you this. What's it like touring with Disturbed?
They're fantastic guys. We have a history with them. We did a tour a few years ago with them, and they treat us like gold. We're all a big family. We have the same managers, so it's all just the same people, and backstage is just great. Everybody's making plans and high-fiving and excited about the future. So, we're really grateful. And I watched them. I went out to the show, to the front of house for their show the first night, and it was just unbelievable. What a band! What a band!
All right. Anyways, thank you so much for your time. Good luck on tour, U.S., Canadian, all those festival dates. Looks amazing.
Yes, sir.
You got Louder Than Life, Rocklahoma, Broadwalk Rock in Ocean City. Man,
Yeah.
you guys got all kinds coming up, and congratulations.
Thanks a lot, man. We'll see you soon. Take care.
All right, bye.